So I hadn't realised we've got a cold snap coming in next week, so it's time to tackle that potato bed, and I got some nice results from it, and harvest the last of the beetroot. Again, I got quite a good amount, and there's shallots of beans, and there's plenty others to come as well. Hello and welcome back, and I've made a real rookie mistake. I've forgotten to check the weather forecasts, and Sarah said last night, do you realise that we could get heavy frost next week and snow? Now I know they can be a bit dramatic with the weather forecast, you know, it's a big country. I've just forgotten to look at the weather forecast. I've been just so content just potting around in the garden that I just haven't done that. And I've got so much left in the beds. I've got a real busy day today. Right, so where to start? I think I'm going to start off with the potatoes and the runner beans out that potato bed. Well, I'll come to that in a bit. Right, so I'm still putting off doing this potato bed. I'll do that in a little bit. Yeah. So this climbing frame, it took a battering in Storm Ashley, and all the screws except for one have snapped on the bottom here. Now I could repair it, put real heavy screw bolts in, but I'm looking at it and thinking, well, maybe I actually put or merge these two beds together, move that one a little bit over, and then I can see all the hellebores a little bit clearer. So this was a good idea, but it's like everything, you always change things. So here we go, it's, yeah, they completely snapped. Right, I've still got plenty of these beans to harvest, and it's a good job that they are long. And then let's see, these are the Greek gigantes, so there's a big difference on the hooks as well. So thankfully I can actually distinguish them. Right, here's another rookie mistake I made. What I did when I actually first harvested these is I've left them in a box or container, and I just left them for a couple of weeks, and what happened is they all started to get mouldy, and I hope that these aren't. Yeah, I've done the same. I've left these too long, haven't I? Look, that's a pity, isn't it? Right. This is not a good start to the video, is it? Right, I'll see what I've actually got in the end. Right, I'll bring you back in a bit. So I was really pleased with the amount of pods that we got on these beans. Right at the start of the summer, we had all those issues with there was just no bees around. So to get all this pollination of these pods or the flowers, and then to get all these pods, I was really pleased. It was just my understanding or lack of knowledge of when to actually pick the czar beans and how to store them, which basically I just need to depod them as soon as I can next time. Right, so that's the Greek Gigante, the last of them, and the czar beans. Now, I know I say the last of them, but when I do take this down, I'm bound to find a lot more as well. It's one of those videos where you just can't see it, but you can see it when you're watching it back that there are some in there. I'm having a little look now. Oh, there's one there. Right, what I'm going to do, oh, what is that one? No, that's a czar bean, isn't it? Right, so what I'm going to do is depod these and put them with what I've actually got. That's actually survived my rookie mistake of leaving them in the baskets. So I also picked the last of the Beiju Mange 2, and those pods are well and truly dried out. Some of them aren't in the best condition, but the pods were that wet that this one is actually starting to sprout. So yeah, we'll see how these go. I'm just going to leave them to dry out again. So this is what I've got left of the czars. Mostly those did rot, the pods, but the Greek Gigante had done all right. So I've now got all these to go through. And like I say, their pods are really nice and dry. So they're looking all right. I did lose quite a bit to where I left them in the I left them in the containers, in these baskets. Oh, I was so gutted when that happened. But yeah, these are looking really healthy. Let them dry on the pods. But it's these pods are just mouldy. I should have done them before. Look, I've lost again so many. So what I'm going to do is go through these. That's disappointing that I lost so much. It is a learning curve, isn't it? And yeah, this is not a good YouTube advertising for gardening, is it? But like I say, it's a learning curve every time. Right, I'm going to go through all these and we'll see what we get. Right, I know I sound disappointed, but I was really pleased. Any harvest is a good harvest, and these Greek gigantes were really big, so I'm really looking forward to using those. And this didn't help at all. It took a while to sort those out, but yeah, you just got to laugh, haven't you, after all this. Right, that actually took a while, that did. So these are the Czars. There's a lot I've lost. And when I consider how much I've actually lost right the way through with my mistake of leaving the pods in the basket and they went all mouldy, I have lost quite a lot. But there are some big sizes. When you compare, that's probably one of the green ones and that's one of the dried ones. They really do dry right the way down. And then these are the Greeks. I've got quite a bit of these. I'm really happy that I've got so many. I didn't lose that many, but I did when I left them in the pods. So, but yeah, some nice sizes of those. What I'm going to do with these is I'm just going to leave them on the tray so I can spot any more that are just going off, and hopefully they can dry out. And what I'm going to do is cook with these only and then cook with these only, just so I get a bit of a taste test of how well they do. But I'm quite pleased with that. I could be disappointed with losing so many, but it's a learning curve, isn't it? Yeah, I'm looking forward to having a go at these, cooking with those. Right, we're on to that potato bed now. I've been putting it off for so long. Right, so I've been putting this off for quite a while. We've had potatoes right on the surface and they look a decent size, and they're ones that I've lost. I've just accepted that. I previously said in a video this was a mistake, putting potatoes in this bed. I just wanted to try it out and I didn't realise that I thought I would have had the depth because I used second airlies, but I didn't have the depth. Like I say, we got them on the surface. The black bears just took off any other soil that I put on top. There's another one that's on the surface there. And all these are all just foxgloves. It really is a weed in here. Right, so I got changed, and these are an old pair of work trousers, but what they have got is I put in me knee pads, so they make it just so easy, just lift up, and it just eases my knees when on the ground as well. So I'm going to be wearing these a lot more now. I'm getting old. Right, what I need to do is start taking out some of these foxgloves. I'm only going to take out some of the big plants. Right, it's a bit tight here, and this is one of the problems. I didn't give enough gap between these beds really for me to be working on this bed, and that's one of the reasons why I want to join them together so I can access from the sides. Right, so what I'm going to do is just slowly start scraping back. There's a potato there, and that's got a scab on, so that's not a good start, but I have left them in for way too long. So yeah, I think I'm going to be using all these different vintage tools that I've got. And I've got a little bit of a, not addiction, but I do like to go around all the vintage shops just to see what hand tools they got. Because these are only, well, I got each one of these for £8, and look at that. That's so well built. There are a lot more online, but yeah, if you're looking for Christmas presents, pop into your vintage shop. I mean, that's a bulb planter from the 1950s, and that's that was my dearest one, £12. Right, let's see which of these foxgloves I can repot on. I'm not going to do too many. I've got so many around the actual garden already, but if I can save a few, I can pop a few into the front garden as well then. Right, I'll bring you back in a bit. Right, so I know I said vintage, but I also mean antique places. You get antique emporiums around here, so there's a number of stores. So I always head straight to the ones with the tools in just to see what they've got. So the foxgloves up on this bank bed, I actually took them all down just to save the seed and to try and stop it from spreading around. So I'm going to actually spread it in the places that I wanted the foxgloves. It didn't work with this bed. I just don't know where the seed came from, but yeah. Really is not much room here. So yeah, there's so many worms in here. So the soil is still good. And what I'm going to do is the stuff I've taken from the top, I'm going to bury that down so all those seeds can just rot away. The bed is pretty full. I'm saying that, but there seems to be quite a lot in here of the potatoes. As I was feeling round, I can't find any now. This was a nice size one. Like I said, they have got scab, so what I'm going to do is just slowly try and work my way through. I don't know how far deep. I planted these really deep, right to the bottom of the bed, but I don't know how far the plants have actually gone. There's another one. Oh, I'm going to miss so many in here. This is just going to be a potato bed for the next couple of years. Some nice sized ones in here. This potato is Nadine. I say it's a pity about the scab, but that's not the end of the world. They're all still edible. Oh, there's so many. I'm going to lose or miss. Yeah, so many. Oi, come here. And you, there you go, down you go. Yeah, when I actually do put these two beds together, I'm going to have to go through all this compost and see what ones I've actually missed on the potatoes. Now, a couple of weeks back, I actually did oh, look at the size of these. A couple of weeks back, I did a rejuvenation of my compost, and this is what this bed's been topped up with continuously, and it's really nice stuff still, even though it's taken a lot out from the potatoes. Well, the potatoes are taking a lot out of it. It's still really nice stuff. Yeah, see, all these small ones are going to be coming back up again next year. There's some more here as well. So how have your potato harvest done this year? Did you plant them in pots or in the ground? And you just accept that you're going to have volunteer potatoes the next year? Right, where are we up to? Right, we've got all these. I've done this area. That's the green one that was on the surface. I think I'll definitely grow these, Nadine, again next year. But yeah, in buckets or containers. I just keep on finding them. Right, so the plants up this side were a lot healthier than down this end, because this used to be a small flower bed, so I had plenty of compost. So the soil this end's really good at the bottom, but this end is just the sandy soil which the rest of the garden's on. Oh, so many small ones at the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to have to sieve right the way through all of this when I do change this bed. Right, she's been waiting for ages just to come down to have a good rummage around this bed. And I forgot to press record. So this is just the end clips of both the blackbird and the robin. And it's the first time I've seen the robin take such a big worm as well. Right, there we go. These are the Nadine potatoes. There's quite a nice sizes there. I know they've got scab on, but we can just clean them up. So I'm quite pleased with that. There's 10 potatoes that went in there, and one or two of the plants didn't really take off at all. So I'm quite happy with how these have come out. I know if I'd left this bed now, I would have so many volunteer potatoes, because I haven't found, and they grew at such a different amount of levels. Some were right down the bottom and some were right at the top of the surface. So if I had leave both these beds as they are, I'm going to get volunteer potatoes in here, and the Beiju Mange 2 has started dropping all its peas. Like I say, I've harvested as many dry pods as I could, so I'd have loads of volunteer Mange 2 in there. Again, not the end of the world, love both of them, but putting these two beds together is going to mean I'm going to have to go through the compost again, and I should find quite a few more. It was surprising how many of these big ones were at the bottom as well. Right, so look at all these worms as well. Right, so it's on to the beetroot next, and I've got so much beetroot to harvest. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Well, I do, but let's see what we get from it. Right, this is also another forgotten bed, and this beetroot bed. The leeks have been shaded out because of this beetroot. I've got all different varieties because I literally had ones that, well, I had real poor germination, so I just stuck all different types together. So I think I'm going to harvest even some of the medium-sized ones, and then just maybe leave the real small ones. I mean, what do you do when it's coming up to frost for beetroot? Do you just harvest the whole bed? Or I've seen on the Google Gardener that it's, you know, you protect with straw. So I was thinking maybe some of the leaves that are around, maybe I should use some of those. Right, let's see what we start to get. Like I say, I've got no idea what some of these varieties are, but I think where I've got big clumps, because it's so hard to do it without bringing up some of the real small ones. You know, that small one's all tangled up. Well, that's a good start. There's some nice sized ones in here. I think all I'm going to do is just literally any of the small ones that get pulled up. I'm just not going to be that delicate, because what's the point if I lose these to the frost? That's a good amount. You know, some nice size whoppers in there. Yeah, let's go with the whole bed. You know, that's a pity I didn't get that size. They're not really usable, are they? Oh well. What else we got down here? Yeah, maybe on the spacing I need to do a bit better, bigger sizes. I think I did around about 150, but I just crammed them all in, and that's my problem. I just cram all things in because of space and because of how many things germinated that you just don't want to just put them on the compost heap. Oh, pity. Well, there's some nice sized ones. Just go with the whole bed. Right, sometimes when you start doing these videos, you have some sort of, well, you're supposed to have some sort of plan. This hasn't gone to plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort through and see which ones I'm going to keep. Any that are just even that size, I'm going to keep. But you know, got some real nice size ones in there as well. And what I'm going to do is, obviously this is a lot of beetroot and I have problems with storing it. So if you store your beetroot, just let us know. I've seen people do it in sand or soil, but I don't really have the facilities to do that. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is keep some of them for the next couple of weeks for the meals, but then I'm going to ferment the rest of it. I've seen quite a few people ferment their beetroots, so I think I'm going to do that because I've got plenty here. Right, I'll clean these up and bring you back. Right, I'm really pleased with that. There's plenty of different shapes and sizes and good sized ones as well. Plenty that didn't, but that's just going to go to the compost. There's some that maybe I could have peeled and got a little square, but that's about it. And because I've got so many, I've still got a few more down there to actually harvest as well. Yeah, I'm just being lazy and just going with the good stuff. Right, so onto those beetroots and then the shallots and Brussels. Still plenty more to come. Right, while I'm here, right, so this is some of the beetroot I've just picked, and this is one of my chards. Now when you compare the actual size of the leaves and the colours. This one behind me here, which yeah, you can't see, that's the golden chard. But when you compare them in size, these leaves I could certainly use, and that's something I'm going to look at for next year. And it may be that I look at the spacing as well. Now, I may do just 3 across a bed, and I'll see how I'd go with the multi-sowing, because that I could have harvested quite a few of those leaves while it was still growing, and use it the same as chard. This chard's coming along nicely though. Right, let's get a few more of these beetroots up. I know these aren't the biggest, but I might as well just pick any that just need eating now. Yeah, these aren't that big. What I may do is just leave the rest of them. That wasn't a good edit, was it? Right, next up is these shallots. Now, I need to take them up before they start going into their second year. What I did with these is, these had lettuces sown in between them, and that was a mistake. They shaded out these onions, and that's a lesson I'll learn for next year. I won't do that again. So all I'm going to do is lift them all up and just store them, and whatever I get from these, whatever I can use, then that's what I'm going to do. There's a buddleia there. So they're not bad, you know, there's a few of them not bad sizes that I can certainly be using. But yeah, that was a bit of a mistake, that was. This video is all about the forgotten harvests and mistakes, isn't it? But still, I can use these some as spring onions and whatever else. So I certainly can use them. What we're going to do, I say, is just put them in the rack in the shed and just let them dry out. Because what I've found is they certainly are more pungent after a couple of days of drying out. Oh, there's some good root systems on them as well. Right, there you go. We've got a lot of shallot stroke spring onions. I mean, some of them are nice sizes, some of them are going soft. So what I'm going to do is just let them dry out, and we'll see what I can actually use from them. That's a lesson learned. I was trying to utilise space, and it didn't work. And this is a lesson I've got to learn, is to really space things out. And that's what I'm going to be doing for the next time, or the first half of next year. Everything's 150 to 200, and onions and leeks and all that do need space. Right, let me show you these Brussels. I've got a question on those. Right, these are the Bridget Brussels. Now, Brussels get sweeter, don't they, after a frost? So that's what I'm holding off for, is hopefully we get that frost. Well, not hopefully, because everything else will perish. But if we do get a frost, then I can start picking those, or I may start picking them now. They're looking about ready. Last year, I got a terrible harvest of Brussels. Well, I didn't really get anything at all. But this year, certainly this plant is doing really well. So the question is, they're about right, aren't they? Because I've seen the ones in the shops, and they're the only ones I can go off, and they're always pretty big. And these are getting roughly around about to that size. Right, I've actually got changed back into the jeans now. I'm going to be doing the thumbnail in a minute. Right, so I'm really pleased with all this. These were definitely the forgotten harvests. The potatoes had just been left there, and I'm really pleased. We're just starting to, oh, look at the mess I'm making. That's no good for the thumbnail, is it? So we're just starting to use baked potatoes now as we're going into winter. Some of these nice big sizes are going to be really useful. It's the same with the beetroots. Like I say, we'll keep around about 9 for the meals, and then the rest will be using that fermentation, and the shallots and all those beans as well. And it doesn't matter if I lose things just because I'm learning. That's fine. I now know how to grow them for whenever I do grow those beans, the Tsar and Greek Giganti again. Right, I'm going to leave the video here now. So like I always say, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope to see you again.